Welcome everybody. Oh shoot, I gotta get this light up out of the way. Let me turn this and turn this. There we go. Hot. Okay, got 3 watchers and 1 like already. That's a good thing. Let me turn the backlight on. Yeah, it's better. I moved things around, so I don't know. Anyway, we're going to finish up the stabilizer tonight. I might lay out the elevators. Let's see, that still looks kind of washed out. Hey, Richard. Let's see here. I might have to put my softbox on. I don't know. Oh well. Anyway, let's get down to business. And we'll turn this down. So the only thing I did while I was off is I finished laying out the geodesic rib structure in this, and this thing is pretty straight. Matter of fact, it's really straight, so that's a good thing. So you want to take a block wide enough and sand all the ribs down, which I've already done, till they're nice and flat. This is not the most shapely way to do things, but it is an easy way. It's fast. I think we had about 45 minutes in on the last go around. We're going to use some medium CA on this. You got 1 shot, so you got to make damn sure you get it right. So about the best way to do that would be to tape it. So I'll get some tape here. I'll use the 2-inch stuff. Like I say, we got 1 shot to do this, so you got to get it right. So before I put any glue on it, I'll get her hinged up here. I'm not even sure that's going to work. You know, if you use white glue on this thing, the thing will warp. I could glue it with Z-epoxy, but then it becomes brittle. So you're kind of in a pickle. I guess that'll do it right there. We'll just leave that open like so. And yeah, you can see it. So now we're going to take the thin set CA, or the medium CA, and we're going to go around the perimeter. Better check it once more, double check, make sure we got it. Like I say, you get 1 shot. So down the trailing edge we go. And you know, you guys, oh shoot, you know what? It's a good thing I thought of something here. Gotta wipe this off. I still gotta put my blocks in for my hinges. That could have been a disaster. So, let's figure out what we're going to do for hinges here. This is a elevator off my Tucker, and all these airplanes are pretty much the same, so it's not a big deal. We're only doing markings for the hinge blocks, so we want one here. And here. Flip it over on this side. Gonna be here. Okay. I think we'll do the elevators tonight. Yeah, I almost screwed that up. Or at least one elevator. Anyway. So let's cut 4 1-inch pieces. So you need 4 1-inch pieces. And we're not building a watch here, so there's no need to be exactly precise. You know, about 1 inch, give or take a 1/8 of an inch or so. So I have four blocks. We're going to inset these. And as I've said in several of my videos, to cut cross grain, you kind of want to always use a back saw. Okay, first block's in there. Let's cut the next one. Another thing to do is don't forget to mark where they are. Now, if you're doing a blade hinge, you need to make these a little bit bigger than what I got here. But my style of hinges are just an 1/8 inch hole, and so it's not a big deal. Okay, I sanded that to a good fit. Sand this one. It's a good fit. Glue that puppy in there. all this stuff is so simple. It's, you know, it takes practice, but if you followed me for any length of time, you'll know that the methods are basically always the same. That's kind of why I hate to do these videos, because I think it's too much repetition. And I don't know how much you guys are learning from this. I mean, there's always new people. Because when I go out to the field and look at some airplanes, there's some crude workmanship. Now, there is some good stuff. Don't get me wrong, not everybody's bad, but for the most part, people haven't been shown the correct way to do it. And the correct way to do things is always the easiest. And I gotta cut a little more off that. Why would you want to beat yourself up trying to do something the hard way? Okay. Okie dokie, one more to go. Good evening, Greg. Make sure to like, subscribe, share. Super chats help. If you can become a member, that helps the channel. I think it's $4.99 a month. Helps me take care of Charles for his work. Trust me, guys, I don't make doodly on this stuff. We say, oh, you own a big website, you must be making millions. Yeah, right. I get a lot of grief is what I get. Okay. How many Harleys have I owned? I have owned probably, well, personally registered in my name. Let's put it that way. Probably 15 in my name, but I've owned more than that. My oldest, I had a 1936 VL flathead. That's a 74-inch side valve motor. I had a 49. My last bike was a 2000 FLTC U HI or whatever the hell they call it. But I've had pan heads and knuckle heads, and I had a 7445 with left-hand throttle, right-hand shift. It was a curb marker bike for the California High Patrol. That was 55 miles an hour. It had a wobble in the front end. You can't believe it. Now 55 on a trike is top speed. That thing wouldn't go any faster. But the front end would wobble and shake. Okay, so now we put those I had a 4245 that I had a Triumph transmission on with the Sportster top end. That was a neat little bike. Two-wheeler. I listen to a lot of Harley guys talk, and I tell them this: you're not going to meet anybody. Doesn't matter whether they're. I am a certified master technology technician. Doesn't matter if there is nobody that knows more about Harley-Davidson than I do. Nobody. I've had my hand on #1 motorcycle. Bob Knievel, or Evil Knievel, used to come into Widman where I worked, and Robbie and those guys. I mean, a lot of history. Used to smoke in the Bob Connor smoking room on Juneau Avenue. That's the Harley plant for you guys who don't know anything about that. Bob Connor was this guy that smoked like a chimney, and then they banned smoking in the plant, so they made him his own room. Okay. Now let me show you what I did here. I inserted the hinge block in these positions here for them. I guess we better mark where they are so I know where to drill them. So somewhere in there, somewhere in there, somewhere in there, and there. Okay, I got them marked and I'm ready for the next operation. So we take the thin set CA one more time, or the medium, run a bead down the trailing edge. The reason why you need slow set is it's going to take a while to get all this covered. And we can come back on the outside with thin set and let it wick down in there. Make sure to get all these ribs glued. Otherwise the stabilizer won't be stiff. This worn truss bracing has to be glued to the skin in order for it to be a monocoque structure. You know what I'd love to do? I'd love to go to one of them college courses for engineering where they build them balsa wood bridges and see if I could beat them. I think I could. Okay, you guys start taking bets to see if I get it put on here right. If I don't, it goes in the trash. Now if you go back and look at my other video, that's really all the work I got into this. So maybe an hour to build this total. Remember I said that, you know, if you spend an hour, I'll have this airplane ready for next year's Nats too, in case the other one doesn't pan out. Okay, one chance. And let it sit for a minute. Feels like it's getting warm, so we know the glue's working. Not the absolute lightest that it can be, but that's basically because I didn't have 3-pound wood. I only had 5-pound wood, so it is what it is. How do you route the trailing edges out, and what do you use? I will show you that, and it's not really all that complicated. It's a little bit tricky to get set up, but I probably won't show that tonight. I'll probably show that tomorrow. I think I'm gonna build the elevators tonight. Or at least get one started so you can see how to do it. Now just block it all flat. You know, don't worry about rounding it over yet, because we're going to use a round over bit when I route it. I suppose a guy could glue that on there before he cuts it, but you know, I like to see how much wood is going into these things, so I cut my pieces and weigh them. At least get them close. Because if it's going to be out of the realm of spec, there's no need to do it. Remember, this whole apparatus has to weigh 3 ounces when it's finished. Hey, Jerry, how you doing? Good evening. I can't tell how many watchers we got, but it seems like the chat's going, so make sure to like, subscribe, share, super chat, join, become a member. Help me out, help me help you. YouTube has not been nice to me. I'm going to be taking the mid-roll ads out of these videos. So I noticed that YouTube has been flooding my videos with a lot of ads, and I don't make squat on them things. You'd be rolling along watching my video, and then an ad will pop up, and then click off of that and an ad will pop up. They're really getting greedy. So there'll be no mid-roll adds. What has been the total aircraft weight of these planes of yours? I shoot for 56 to 58 ounces. If they're under 60, they're acceptable. That's for the big ones. The little ones are at 40 ounces. My little Tucker's 40 ounces. This big one will probably be 58. The biggest weight contributor is paint. And that's why I have my finishing system of no more than 1/4 of dope. The 1/4 dope paint job does not give you that deep shine that a 20 pointer is going to get you. But you can easily make up the 1 point in flying. Okay, now we're going to have to lay out the elevators. I'm going to need 4 skins exactly the same. Yes, running a 60. The airplane that's on the wall there is 58 ounces. My Junar is 58 ounces. My PA-75 airplane is 63 ounces. I don't really care for it. Because the extra 3 ounces is in the nose. PA-75 motor. I'm hoping I can make this one here under 60. With a PA-75 engine. And a muffler. If I can do that, then we'll build some more PA motored airplanes. But okay, this is my stabilizer. Nice and stiff. Relatively good weight, should be around 1.25 ounces. .35. So it'll be 1.25 ounces when I get it all sanded off. But didn't have any good 16th. This is 3/32 and 3/8, so it is how thick? 5/8 maybe, huh? 9/16. It's a proud 9/16, a little less than 5/8. Few thousandths. So now we need to make a 3/8 elevator. And because of the goofy shape that I'm using, I'll show you how I come up with that. And it is a goofy shape. I wish I had some 4-inch 3/8 because, like I said, you can build them lighter solid. I don't, so I gotta go back to this. So we want to use the lightest we have. 16. I need one more because I won't get 4 out of that. That's 20. 20. 21, 21, 21, 18. I guess we'll use the 16 and 17. What is the weight of what now? My big tucker? My big tucker right now is 53 ounces. I still haven't got over to John's to paint it. He had family to do this weekend. This airplane's 53 ounces as we sit right now. Super Tiger 60, fuel tanks on board, wingtip weights on board. Only thing it's not in it's the pilot, but it's still 53 ounces. And I'll put a paint job on it and it'll be what it is. Okay, let's back to work. The stabilizer is 1 and a little bit more than 1 1/4. It'll be 1 1/4 when I get it sanded. So it'll come out 3 ounces. Okay, we're going to build a stabilizer here. Now this is a funny thing because this stab has to go inside the wing or inside the tip there. So in order to do this, I need to first cut this at an angle. Yeah. We need to cut an angle. Need to cut an angle like that. We can always adjust the angle when I get the fuselage on because I'm going to make it long. You know, building these models is take a big pile of wood and cut away everything doesn't look like an airplane. All stabilizer elevators need to weigh 3 ounces. I haven't been able to build them any lighter. They're usually right in the 3 ounce range. 3 ounces, 3 1/4. Now you wonder why don't I have the trailing edge squared up on that? we have to cut into it like so. Now, if I remember right, I want a little bit more back here because of power. Wish my grandfather's ruler was a little bit easier to read, but it's... Yep, we'll just make it that right there and see what happens, see what it looks like. It's too much. Here we go, back to that YouTube not receiving enough audio or streaming. Let's see here, I can do it better like so. Okay, if you look here, I drew the line, and most people would use this line here as the leading edge, but the leading edge is cut back into it because I have these counterbalancers in this. Think things through. It's so much easier to think it through the first time than it is to do it over. Of course, I sometimes do things over anyway. If I don't like how much it weighs or whatever, I'll make it several times. But we have to get the first pattern. We have to get the first pattern done. So remember, my models are built on the TLAR method. That looks about right. Okay, if you look here, there's a counterbalance. I mean, all these things are reminiscent of the old hot rods. That's what I like. So that fits together like so, and that looks pretty good. Need to bring it up a little bit. I don't know, maybe I need to bring the whole pole up some so you get a better view. Except now I can't get at it. No, we can't get at it unless I move this bench. Oh, crap. Okay, let's see how that looks. That's a better view of things, I think. Okay, so as I've stated, these pieces fit together like so. Of course, this is too long, but it should be about right. So I need to make 3 more of these. Don't throw these pieces out, because this is going to be the trailing edge. And we only get 2 pieces out of each one. I thought we'd get 3, but they're awful big. So here's a little secret too. This piece of wood right here is 1 gram heavier or lighter than the other piece of wood. So what does this make it? It makes this the inboard stabilizer. You say, well, 1 gram. Yeah, 1 gram. 1 gram here, 1 gram there. Means that that's less tip weight that I have to put in it if I use the heavier wood on the outboard side. So always keep that in mind. At least that's how I do it. Try to use light wood everywhere, but if you gotta use a piece of, what I'm saying is use your heavier wood on the outboard side. That's about all I got on that. See, I thought somebody would ask me some pertinent questions on Harley-Davidson, like how long is a connecting rod? And can anybody tell me? I could tell you. And they're all the same. Except for V-rod. V-rod's a different animal. All Sportsters, all Big Twins, all 45s, all flatheads, knuckleheads, shovelheads, twin cams. They're all the same length. And that is 7.77 inches long. Someday, even though I'm getting old, I may go back to work on Harley-Davidson again. I kind of miss it. When I first started working on Harley-Davidson, you had to be a machinist. It was not like it is today. Well, we just change that part. You had to know bearing fitment and how to true up a crankshaft and how to bore cylinders and grind valves and all that nonsense. Today it's just put a new one on it. Okay, we got 2 skins. We need 2 more. And this is the outboard, so I want to put on here outboard inside. OB. OB. So this is the original. Here's another thing. Stack tolerance. You guys know anything? I mean, some of you guys may, but you know, I gotta assume that people watching this don't have the knowledge that I have on different things. If you're gonna make a pattern, you gotta use the same piece over and over and over again. Because if you take this piece, let me pull it up a little bit. If you take this piece and cut this piece out and you use this piece to trace it onto this piece, and then you use the next piece to trace when you get to the end, it'll be 1/8 of an inch bigger. Just the pencil line or whatever. That's called stack tolerance. And a lot of guys make that mistake. It happens to me a lot at work. The guys that I work with don't understand stack tolerance. They don't understand what is the best source for balsa these days. Mark, it is extremely hard to get balsa wood. I'm working with the guy now that he'll let me know Monday if I have any contest wood. But they're considering contest wood 7 pound. And that's shit wood. That's RC wood. I guess I'm going to have to get with the Free Flight guys and buy that. See if I can get hold of that $1,500 a pound wood. Them guys that fly indoor Free Flight will pay super big money for 2 and 3 pound wood. But it's all relative. You know, a lot of control line guys say, well, this is an expensive hobby. This is a cheap hobby compared to motorcycles. My very last pass on my drag bike cost $1,500 for a 1/4 mile. So, I don't want to hear how expensive this hobby is. And that was actually a cheap pass because it didn't tear anything up but the belt and the clutch. Needless to say, that was a short-lived hobby without serious sponsorship. Wendy gave up airplanes to go to motorcycles. I gave up motorcycles to go back to airplanes. Figuring that my days were pretty much numbered, because there's only 2 kind of riders, ones who have crashed, the ones who are going to crash. And I did crash in the past, but I seem to walk away from all of them, so this is inboard. So I beat the odds. I still got a burn on my back, on my shoulder, from 30 years ago, where I hit the ground at 100 miles an hour on the asphalt. Okay, this is outboard, so put these aside. This is inboard. We're going to put this on the left side. This is top left. Kind of keep things straightened out here. I was watching a YouTube channel, Top Fuel Harleys. It's bringing back memories. And I'd love to do it, but man, oh man, it's kind of dangerous. So I guess in my older age we'll be stuck to airplanes and not needing the need for speed, I guess. I don't know. When we went up to Michigan, went over to Randy's house, he had some stuff that brought back some memories. I didn't even know he was a rider. And unless you the guys have seen you ride or around riders, they don't know whether you're blowing smoke up their butt or whatever. I think I got a picture of my last bike in my briefcase. A nice dresser. Everybody say, well, man, you're the littlest guy. Why are you riding a dresser? Well, why buy a half a motorcycle? Okay, enough of that. So now we need to make some parts. We need a leading edge and a trailing edge. Well, the leading edge is going to be, this is 3/8. The leading edge needs to be less than what we have there, so I got to sit and think about this. If I have 9/16 there, if I put 3/8 into that, that'd be another 9/16, so there wouldn't be any groove. So I need to mill this 5/16. So how am I going to do that? All right, so let's cut we're going to cut a 1/2 inch leading edge. Except that's 3/8. I don't know why I didn't check that. I guess we can get by with 3/8 and use a hinge block. Yeah. Let me look real quick, see if I can find it. My dresser was beautiful. Yeah, it's right here, I think. No. Yeah, maybe it's not here. Not handy. Oh, but I did find some more glasses wipes. That's good. Yeah, come on. I'd like to show you. Oh. If you don't believe that I'm a Harley-Davidson technician, this is my Harley-Davidson recognition portfolio. In here it says that I am a Master Service Technology Service Technician. And these are all the schools that I've been to. There's a shitload of them. There's 2 books here. I did find some pictures of my sorcerer. This is when my Junar was new. But this was when I was a kind of a kid, about 30 years ago, holding my sorcerer. That's a fun airplane. I sold that to Fox Manufacturing. I do not know where that is. I know it's in here somewhere, but I just saw it a couple weeks ago. Might be in this. Nope. Nope, I don't know where it is. It's about $35,000. It was nice. Do you have a favorite kit supplier for the best wood? I haven't built a kit airplane in 30 years. You know, I don't know. 30 years ago, the best wood was out of Sig. And then Riley came along, and then he had the best wood. But after his fire, he had shit. Okay, this is 3/8. Let's see, I gotta cut how much off of this is. No, this is 1/2 by 3/8. So in order for me to get 5/16, I need to cut a 16th off of this. So I better cut another, before I adjust it, cut another leading edge here. Better cut one more piece for the tips and the blocks. Okay, we need to take a 16th off this. I'm just going to eyeball it. I say that's 5/16. Let's see what it is. Except I can't read that. It doesn't go down small enough. Here we go. $5 on Amazon to get 2 stainless steel rulers. They're machinist scaled down to 64ths. So better get some of those. You want to go to 16ths. It's a little heavy on 5/16. Okay, I'm going to take this 1/8" balsa on the flat and mill it to 5/16. Strip it, whatever you want to call it. I gotta do it from both sides. Okay, so we stripped the 16th off here. We have a piece 1/2 inch by 5/16. The 1/2 inch will lay in the horizontal plane and the 5/16 is in the vertical. That way when you put the two together, should be 3/8 here. Let's check it. Exactly. You know, I wish I'd have studied more math in school. All I know is, you know, how to read a micrometer, how to do bearing fitment and crap like that. As far as trigonometry and all, I don't understand. It's over my head. So this goes here, and this goes here. Okay. Glue that on there like so. Cut the tip off. Now you see that little tip sticking up there, you got to glue a filler in there. Or else you'll have a problem. I need to get my scalpel. Do you guys get anything out of this? It's not really a tutorial, it's kind of just watching me and my methods. Is it worth me doing this or what? I know that some guys said it helps them. This is a dying art. The buy and fly generation is taking over. Get on there. When I was a boy, and I used to go to Woody or Narrows, and I'd see all those beautiful airplanes. I said, "Mister, where'd you buy them at?" "You can't buy them, you gotta make them." And I was a kid that was 100 questions a minute. How'd you do this? How'd you do that? Why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? Nobody would tell you nothing. Go away, kid, you bother me. Okay, I just blocked that in and made it rough. This particular area here, I'm gonna have to saturate with CA after I get it shaped. Otherwise, it'll be too damn hard to sand. But definitely gotta block it in. Okay, we're going to need an 1/8 inch tip, or 1/8 inch tip. We're going to need a tip out here. Did I mill this already? This is the leading edge. No. Okay. Now if we're real slick, we can use this wood that I'm milling here for the ribs, because it's light stuff. Can't get it all the way through, so where did it cut there? Come on now. There it is. So it's got to be this side here. Okay. This is basically just a filler. These joints need to be precise. And I have screwed up, so they need to be more of an angle like that. There we go. Probably going to take 2 cuts of the apple here to get around this corner, which is okay. Yep, 2 cuts of the apple. Now, if I had some good 1/8 inch wood, or 3/8 wood, these would be solid, because you can't build them lighter than you can build solid, sand a solid piece. But because we don't have any good wood, I got to do it this way. So it's just a pain. Make sure that this joint here, the tip and the trailing edge joint, is a good solid joint, because if you don't, when you go to finish it, there'll be cracks and stuff in it. It's no good. So we need another bite at the apple. Come back here. Actually, that worked out pretty good. So make 3 bites at the apple to get around that corner. That worked out real good. So the last bite. I guess I'm out of glue. Fortunately for me, I went to Schaefer's and I bought another bottle. I used to buy it by the pint. I probably should start doing that again. Problem is, it just doesn't stay good. It doesn't stay fresh. Okay, there we have it. Now, if I add 3/16, 3/32 times 3 times, that's 6 6/32, which would be 3/16. If you're a subscriber to the channel, you should get a note. Okay, YouTube kind of screwed things up when they did their last deal. Go hit the subscribe button, and then hit the bell, and then hit all notifications, and you'll be notified when I go live. They used to just notify automatically, but ever since the they had I don't know how they said it, ad apocalypse, they quit notifying people. Now, we're going to have a spot for the for the control horn and for the hinges. Not only that, we're going to have a spot for the cap here, so I guess we'll put that. Let's see, I had ½ inch. What is this? I better write these numbers down. Yeah, it's not quite a half, about 9/16 on the width, 5/16 on the thickness. So we got 9/16 on the 9/16 by 5/16. So if I add, like I say, if I add 3/32, I want to use scrap. I don't want to have a lot of left over. Yeah. Okay, so here we go right here. This is my trailing edge. This is my end. Because this will get trimmed off. That's no good. I guess I didn't mill that to 5/16 yet, so I have to use that. Doesn't matter. So we got an end. I've got a picture in my mind. I try to keep the horns about 1.25 inches. So I need to put a block in here for the horn. Seeing that I can only cut about 1/2 inch at a time, I'm going to have to make this no more than 1 inch. So we'll have to keep them to a minimum. So I gotta think here. I gotta be able to mill this. I don't have my table saw here. I gotta be able to mill it with a knife. So if I do it like that, and I can only go in 1/2 inch, probably gonna have to cut it in half, so I don't know. Well, we'll try it. I don't know whether you can cut cross grain or not with this stripper. I guess. Looks pretty dangerous. When I was a kid, Boy Scout, I wanted a pocket knife. My mom said, "No, you'll cut yourself with it." So I was about 13, I guess, when I finally got this pocket knife. My mom got it for me. What'd she do? She opened it up and cut herself. For you young guys that are watching this, please be careful. This stuff is pretty sharp. This is the horn block. It appears to be pretty good. So we're going to cut a little bit off of this corner. You say, well, why did I cut that off? Well, it doesn't need to be there. It's just a little piece, but every little piece helps. Okay, let's see what somebody said here. Let me cut this off before I break it off. Hour and a half I've been on, so we finished the stab. I guess we'll run 2 hours on this. This thing will get 1 elevator done. Use enough glue to hold this in, because this is a lot of stress on this spot here. So if I use a 16th, I guess we could use this piece. We'll use these as trailing edges, I guess. No, that won't work either. So I'm going to have to cut a piece of let's see here. That's an 18. That's pretty beefy. That's, well, you know what? That's Midwest wood. This piece of wood's probably, this is Midwest balsa. This piece of wood's probably 25 years old. It needs to get used up out of the bin. So we're going to just use a 1/8 inch by 3/32 trailing edge. And it didn't split right. Damn grain pulled it over. So. It's probably why it's still in there. The grain's no good. Should work for what we're doing here though. It's hard wood. That's exactly why it's in the bin still. Ain't that great? The grain was goofy. But we got it out of there anyway. Okay. going on here? Do we get a twist in it already? Nope. Now some guys are going to say, you can't do it that way. You'll sand a twist in it. I've done it like this a million times. Okay. What I'm doing here is I'm just knocking off the biggest amount for the taper on this. I don't recommend that you do this on the table because you will sand a warp in it, but if you do it by hand and eye, you should be able to keep it pretty good. Make sure you build a right and a left. So we did it this side up on the other one I'll do the other side up because this is the outboard. And it does make a difference. Okay, let's do the you can't do that. I love how they say that. Like I said, I just sanded the bulk of the shape in it. I didn't. I'm going to finish it up on the table. Let's see now. guess I need to sand this in here so I can find where my hinge pockets go. So the fastest way to do that would be to do it with the Dremel. We just need it close, we don't need it to be exact. Okay, I didn't have to sand too much there. So this is outboard. So this is going to be up. I have a hinge here. I have a hinge here. And those hinges are how far apart? I have a hinge here on the tip. Seven and a quarter. Is that right? Yep. 7 1/4. Okay. So I got a hinge here. And a hinge here. So now we need to put the hinge blocks in. Now these hinge blocks, is that going to be enough 3/8 back? Let's see, 3/8 and 3/8 is 3/4 with my scale. It's actually if I set it back 3/8 of an inch, yeah, that'll be fine. So we need to make these 1 inch. Need 2 of those. Going to cut this way, cut that off. I guess I trim up the corners. Is it necessary? I don't know. Just takes a little weight off. Every little bit helps. out of glue. I can't believe it. But I got more. I got 2 bottles more. I got to swap the tops out, and it comes out way too fast. I just tuned in. Did you get your Tucker painted? No, I didn't, Chris. John had some family things going today, so maybe next weekend. We're working on it. I just know I'll have 4 PA planes ready, 5 PA planes ready, but I'll have 2 new ones next year. And that's about right. I try to come out with 2 a year. Try to use the Bob Smith Industry CA. I've found it to be the best. Zap used to be pretty good, but Bob Smith seems to work pretty good. Okay, we got glue now. We got some local guys that make the CA. It's cheap, but it doesn't work as good. It's not, I don't know if the ingredients aren't fresh or whatever it is, it just don't work as good. I went to school with, we were talking about Harleys. I just was thinking about drag racing again. I went to school with Gene Smith, and my dad had a pool business, and I ended up working for my dad, and I used to clean their swimming pool. Their dad was Joe Smith, and if you look up Joe Smith in the Harley drag racing world, he had the quickest and fastest knucklehead. I think he went through the traps at 142 miles an hour on his back at Irwindale one year. Mike Mosley lived right down the street from us. Gretsch from the boat world lived down the street from us. Then when we moved to Corona, I lived right below Maley, Ken Maley's hot shoe factory. Okay, so that should be good enough to get us started here. We got it roughed in. Our elevators, let's see, do we have an OB here? Yeah, this is an OB. Our elevator is going to weigh Hopefully half ounce. .4. It's 5.54. So that'll be good. So it'll be a half ounce when it's done, and we're kicking it right along for our we're looking right at the ounce or 3 ounce mark for the elevator stabilizer and horn. With tips. Mark, what do you mean by that? With tips for the thin CA. I don't know what you mean. Where's my sanding block? There it is. Okay, so I need to think about this for a minute. Is this going to be too big? So here that is, and the fuselage. I'm going to need another filler in there. What'll happen here is I'll end up cutting that off and it'll open up. So we need another filler. Because I'll end up taking 3/8 of an inch off of it. Okay, I added another 3/8 here, because I'm going to end up cutting some of this off and then putting a cap on it. So I don't want to be out in the air with nothing to glue to. Let's see what it said. Come on, what's said here? Caps, I guess I should say, comes out way too fast and hard to control the standard cap. Yes. And Christopher grew up with Art Arfins. The last I saw Art Arfins was in St. Louis Arena, and he quit running the Green Monster and he's now running Tractor Pull. And it was a bad dude. My dad lives by Craig Breedlove, and my dad's girlfriend is Craig Breedlove's niece or something. They all know each other. Okay, you can't do it that way? Okay, whatever. Okay, so we need that 5/16 mark again. Actually, we'll cut a little proud. My dad is going to be 98 years old. I thought he was 98 already. December 20th. Let's see, 3/8 is more than 5/16. What am I thinking? So we'll cut it. That looks about right. Let's see here. It's a little proud of 5/16. Close enough. Okay. This is just the easy way to do things. Of course, the easy way has taken me a pure stabilizer, but whatever. So we want to end up here. So the next one's going to be here. Then we skip one, and the next one's going to be here. The next one's going to be there. Okay. But you see how easy this is? I mean, it's just so simple. I guess then we could go back up that way. Keep it simple. Dead silence. Good evening, Gary. You're kind of in on the back half of this. We're going to be ending up here in a few minutes. I got to eat dinner yet. Make my TV dinner lasagna. Guess I'll go ahead and glue this in. There we go. I just cleared the way to make that end up right. Come on. And when we come back tomorrow, I'll sand it out and we'll skin it again. Then I'll make the other side. If you guys want to see me do it again, but pretty boring. I'm gonna need another can of that. It lasted quite a while though. The lightest way to do this is open bay, but it's too hard to finish. Let's see, somebody said something new there. Yes, I like Durablocks. I have all their Durablocks. They are a good sanding block. They're as light as balsa wood. It's unbelievable how light they are. And they're stiff. Very good stuff. On Amazon, I think you get the whole set for 35 bucks. Not very much. 6-inch, 12-inch, 18-inch, and the round one. And I like them better than the metal T-bars because they don't, if you happen to miss, or they don't dig up the wood. You know what, that one needs to be a little bit longer. Is all this business necessary? I don't know. I think that it would probably, when you finish it, it would probably suck down if you didn't have ribs in it. And it may twist when you give it up. I don't know. So I've always done it this way. If I have to use these style, I just keep doing it the same way. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Pretty simple. Tomorrow's a day of laundry and grocery shopping, and after I get back from doing that, I'll come back on and do a show, and we'll finish this up. So there you have it. All we're going to do tomorrow is we'll block sand these till the taper's in them, and then glue the skin on, which is, I had them separated. I don't know what happened to it now. Gotta be here somewhere. I need the OB. OB, where are you? Yep. And then we'll glue the skin on it. This is the heavy side. It's the outboard. When I say heavy, it's only because the wood was 2 grams lighter than the other inboard side. And tomorrow should be able to hinge it, and I'll show you how to route the trailing edge on this. I got horns for it. You know, if I was in St. Louis, if I was at home, I could finish this my tucker up and this up. I'd have this one done in a month. There's not really a rush on it because I don't have the room for them here. Any questions of what's went on tonight? If not, I guess we'll wrap it up. "108 playbacks, 18-minute was the average watch time. 18 watched at a time. That's good. So we'll see you tomorrow. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya. If I can find the mouse. Thanks for watching.